I think Aristotle captures this notion that human life begins in families. Families join together to form tribes. Tribes join together to form cities. Now, how that happens, whether it's through conquest, whether it's through, intermarriage, who knows? But Petrarch is the first one that recognizes that you don't have to be a citizen of a city in order to be a human being. Aristotle says people that live outside of cities are either beasts or gods. Petrarch says, no, we humans can live outside of cities and be something on our own. Now, it often turns out that people that live outside of cities, who are outlaws, to put it that way, are more beast-like, right? It often turns out that some philosophers don't fit in and they go live in the mountains. He's thinking of the gymnosophist in India, the naked wise men who go live in mountains. So that, there are different ways to think about it. But then once you've come to that conclusion, when people start imitating Petrarch, there's this poor man that comes to Petrarch and says to him, I really don't like you. I know your work is great, but you've ruined my son. And Petrarch says, why? Well, all he wants to do is write verses, right? He doesn't want to be a banker. He wants to write verses. He thinks about himself all the time, and he tries to. And that became, that became a very important path for people to follow. And that whole humanist path became a very popular path. And it led to this. So I think that led people, was the basis on which people could come to think of themselves as individuals, right? And, whether they're individuals created individually by God or whether they're individuals just in terms of natural variation, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I mean, but that they could also stand on their own. They didn't need to have a city. And once people come to that conclusion, if they live in cities that they don't like, they start wondering, why am I staying here? Why don't I go somewhere else? Or why don't we improve our city? And maybe I don't have to listen to this prince. Maybe, I haven't consented to any of these things.